Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rewind with Ro. I'm your host, Ro Carter. My amazing co-host, Rob Smith. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. Living life.
Nice. Got the throwback jacket on. You know, he might fly away, or maybe a little Missy Elliott, like old school.
Oh yeah, it's just kind of giving that energy. It's a little fear of God. Essentials.
There you go, player. There you go. He's in LA. That's what they do. They keeping up with all the stuff. Miami. I guess we do too.
It's a little chilly here today, so I had to, throw this on.
Yeah, the seasons are changing. Holidays are coming. Do you usually go see the fam for Thanksgiving or Christmas or?
Usually, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it this year.
Okay, just staying in LA.
Probably staying in LA, doing a little Friendsgiving.
Okay, all right.
Then I need to take a vacation. I think I need to travel outside of the U.S. for about a week.
When you completely put back together.
Put back together? Oh yeah. I feel like a stuffed turkey right now.
Yeah. You can't move right now. So when all the clothes are baggy.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be like I'm supposed to be wearing a faja for 6 months.
6 months? You ain't going on vacation for a week, play. You better keep your mind home. Stop playing.
Well, minimum 2 months.
Yeah,
but I said I'm gonna wear it for 6 months.
You're not going anywhere until after Oscar, like let's say March, April. I'll see you March, April.
I think I'm gonna take a trip overseas.
Oh, nice. All right. Mix it up. So we're crunched for time tonight, so it's just gonna be short and sweet. I still wanted to get a movie in before holidays come in. When we're not gonna be able to do a show next week. We're gonna try to give you one on Tuesday, the week of Thanksgiving. We have a lot of movies coming out. Wicked's coming out. Is Denzel's movie coming out yet or no? That later.
Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2. Yeah, that's a big one. There's another big movie coming out as well. So
Piano Lesson.
Yeah, and Piano Lesson. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. I don't know if we're gonna fit that all in one night. That's crazy. Maybe we'll do one and then do the 2 when we come back in December. So either way, just put it out there on your radar. So tonight's movie is Meet Me Next Christmas. This is a cute black rom-com. Wait, do we have a word for black rom-coms?
It's still a rom-com. It's just a romantic comedy.
I know, but it's black romantic comedy.
I don't know. Is there?
No, but it's right because rom-coms. I usually think of white rom-coms. I don't think of black rom-coms, right? No, am I wrong? I mean, serious.
I guess.
Right? Can we should name something black rom-coms? Yes, this is ours. This is what we did. Black film, black rom-coms. Yes.
How can you make black rom-com?
BRC, baby.
BRC, but what's the black rom-com? How do you say?
This is what a black rom-com is. It's something that happens with black people.
Blackrocom?
Yeah, well, that's okay. We're gonna work on that. But anyway, this is a black rom-com. So the rom-coms you like cute, you watch on the Hallmark Network and stuff like this. This is on Netflix, and so we get to see some love and some holiday music, some good stuff. And shout out to Christina Milian. She still look good. I was like, damn. She gotta be at least what 40?
Yeah, that's because she left and moved to Paris.
Hey, the food's different over there. Food's different over there. This is different. Soon our food will be different too here. Anyway, so this movie's on Netflix, came out last week. Director is Rusty Cundiff. Cast Christina Milian, Davalia Ellis, Kofi Sarabow, all the ladies will love Kofi, and the Pentatonics Music Group. So this movie takes place in New York, a little bit in Chicago, stuck in an airport. Christina Milian, her character is named Layla. After catching her boyfriend cheating on her, played by Christina. What am I doing? I'm reading bad notes. Sorry. Let's do this again. Turn the page. Oh, there you go. Layla, played by Christina Milian, is involved, is snowed in at the airport, and she runs into 2 young gentlemen. One guy she hits it off with, and they sit down in the lounge, and they just wind up talking. And by the end, he gets to catch his flight, and he's like, listen, I'm feeling you. Can we talk? And she's like, I'm in a relationship. But he's like, hey, let me ask you this. A year from now, if we're both single, why don't you meet me at this Pentatonics concert? And she put him on to the group earlier. So he was like, oh, I really like them. She missed that concert because she was snowed in. So she was like, hey, you know what? Maybe a year from now, we'll see. And the movie starts from there. We fast forward a year later. We rewind, but we fast forward here. So we fast forward a year later, almost a year later to the holiday time around Christmas. And she catches her boyfriend cheating on her. So her brain just goes like, you know what? I need to find true romance. She talks to her girlfriend, and she's like, "There's this guy I met almost a year ago in the airport. He said a year from now, if we go to the concert, we'll meet up." So then we follow her character running through New York trying to get this ticket that's impossible to get. Pentatonic's impossible to get. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. And then we follow through that, and we follow her on her own destiny of love at the same time when she realizes love is right in front of her eyes. So that's synopsis of that story. What did you think going into this, Rob? Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that was a great summation of the film.
I'm a hot mess right now. I'm running right now. I had a Celsius. I'm like, yeah.
No, you summed it all up. I don't think you introduced the her.
I just said she met two people in the thing because that's a big part. I didn't want to give that. You know what I'm saying? I even in the, I didn't want to, You
don't want to give it all away.
Mm-hmm. That's it? You're done?
Well, I mean, you summed it up well. I don't know what else you want me to. I don't want to, I don't want to ruin it for.
Okay, so no, my point is, when you went into the movie, what were you thinking? Were you excited for this rom-com? Were you looking forward to it when you saw the cast? Because I look at the cast and I'm like, the only thing I will say that the disappointment is for the ladies, Kofi's not in there the whole movie. He's only in there for a little bit.
Why does that got to be disappointing? There's other men for them to look at.
I know, but everybody's like, everyone's like, oh, hello.
I love Christina Milian, so I was excited for the film. I do enjoy when all of the holiday films start coming out because I like to see them trying to figure out a new creative way to do a rom-com centered around Christmas because there's 70 of them that come out every year. Yeah. So this one was fun. It was entertaining. I thought it was like high energy, a little bit like that perfect amount of overacting for holiday films because it's just like it's supposed to be that like elevated romantic funny relationship between everybody in the film. So I thought it was very well done and it was fun. It was entertaining. I didn't know what to expect from a storyline because again I don't like to jump into them and kind of research too much. I like to just watch it and see what happens and go with the flow. But it was a fun new take on the holiday romance film.
Let me ask you something. Have you or would you be into if someone approached you like that? You hit it off with somebody in the airport lounge. You're like, hey man, I'm really feeling you. They say I'm in a relationship or vice versa. Would you take the offer and store it in the back of your head? Would you actually present the offer to someone if you really kicked it like that? Or what would you do?
No, I don't think I would be disrespectful towards somebody who's in a relationship. Be like, look,
is it disrespectful if you're not? Yeah. You told me a year from now.
Next year. No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't do that. If it was meant to be, it's going to be meant to be. Like this is like a, outlandish concept of something that would probably never happen. But I don't know. Somebody.
Yeah, because I think if you kicked it off, you ain't waiting a year from now. Like, hey man, you want to do something right now? We in the airport.
No, I wouldn't be hooking up in the airport bathroom either. But I also don't. I guess there are people out there who are bold enough to do that, but yes. I would never profess to break up someone's relationship just for my selfish desires because I don't know you and you might be a horrible person. But yeah, so I would never do it.
Which is true, especially in this day and age of dating on apps and stuff like that. It's like the fact that he went a little old school about it. They got to talk and meet, which normally you meet people through like dating apps nowadays, and so you can't really get to know them. But like you just Google their whole life. And then what I like is that he said, hey, listen, we won't do that. I'm not going to give you my last name if you want to, which was kind of creepy, but it was kind of old school too. So it's like our brains have kind of been warped around. Like you can't talk to anybody like that nowadays. He could kill you, girl. But back in the day, that's how we did it. You just said, hey, I'm going to put caution to the wind. And I felt the man or the woman was very respectful and we had a good time. We hit it off. And that's the crazy part when you hit it off with people. And you have to remind yourself, like, listen, you can have great conversations with the opposite sex. It doesn't have to always lead to a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's a fun concept and idea because, like you said, we don't often meet people in person in real life anymore. It's all through these dating apps, and it's like swipe, 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 maybe. So that was a fun, portion to it. But again, who's gonna wait a year? A year, like it's just those fun romantic comedy concepts and ideas that make you go, oh, but would never really happen. But
also people don't talk anymore. Like everybody's on the phone. especially in the airport, in the lounge. No one's talking to you.
There was a lot of interaction in that airport lounge that I've never had.
I'm like, no one wants that in the lounge, by the way.
No one's squirting stuff on my food in the airport lounge. It's just not happening. But you know,
that's what the movies are for. Fantasies.
Exactly.
Fantasies. Throughout this movie, there's a lot of basically this movie centers around the Pentatonics concert. Have you ever heard of Pentatonics? They're an amazing group. They all sing together as like 5 of them made up of 5 people, kind of like an old school Boyz II Men. You know, they have all the different well, how would I say it? What was that called? Old school. What's the word for that? Not beats, but they do
Harmony.
Excuse me, what?
Harmony.
Yes, but they harmonize together, but everybody has a different, like someone will be the bass, someone will be the tenor, toner, all that kind of thing. So they're their own I'm lost for words because I just had a long day. It's all right. Best show ever. You're gonna love this. But point is just how like Boyz II Men would have all these kind of things that you would hit that they didn't really need music because their voices were the music. That's what I love about them. So they're fun. And they have an amazing Christmas album. So I would definitely say check that out. So it's the holiday time. Want to listen to something different. Pentatonics is great. That's the only knock I have is that we focus too much on Pentatonics.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we went too deep. Like everybody had roles and acting. I'm like, we were like, they're you know.
But it was fun.
They're not Boyz II Men. I'm gonna say yes. I'm saying, but yeah, they're not.
I thought it was fun, and I thought it worked for the film because they were an integral part of the process of them trying to decide what they were going to do with the ticket.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a fun way to integrate them into the film, and it worked to me.
So that's part of the movie. Layla is running around New York City, and so it's kind of cool. You get to see. I love Christmas movies when they take place, especially in New York, my home, because it's just things you miss, and you also miss the energy and attitudes. Like there's a scene where they're in one of the big shopping centers, a high-end store, and all this stuff goes, and you're like, yes, I know that person. I know that type of person, and I know that type of person. And you always have to remember during the holidays just being nice. So I kind of love that kind of throwback to like, hey, you know what? The holidays are really meant to be about loving and caring. And Christina Milian's character, Layla, does a nice charitable thing to a family. And so you kind of remiss that, you know, sometimes when you're watching these movies, like, oh yeah, that's what it was always about, right? Is giving back to others, especially during the holidays, instead of being selfish and doing whatever you want to get around that. Yeah.
Yes. I never know when you want me to answer, Ro. It was such a beautiful statement. I didn't know if you had a question in there for me.
Rob, what's your favorite holiday movie?
My favorite holiday movie? There's so many. Okay.
You take a minute to think about that. Would you put this movie, would you refer this movie to a friend, and would you put it in one? Because remember last year we did the Eddie Murphy movie, and all the claymations came to life.
Yeah.
And so it's tough. You know, I think movies. When's the last solid Christmas movie that you could add to the ones on the Mount Rushmore? And I can't think as far. Maybe Elf is the last one that was added to everything. So it's tough to make a Christmas. It's like making a one hit, like a summertime hit or a Christmas hit. It's tough. You know, Mariah Carey been holding that spot for a long time. You know, it's tough to beat it.
You can't take it from her.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the thing. It's I would highly recommend this movie because it's just fun to sit around with family and kind of watch the movie. And if you've never been to New York, you get to see New York. And then when you get there, it's nothing like the movie. But at least you get a little taste. And then I just love the interaction. There was a wholesome kind of feel in this movie because there's always people. The other character, James, he's trying to help her out, and he's doing all these things. She's like, "No, I got to go with you. I got to see what's going on. I want to see this through." And then she almost gets taken advantage of for fake tickets. And he's like, no, you can't just trust anybody. And so I love that that's New York in a nutshell. It's like you never know what you're going to get into. And so it's always nice to have someone that say, hey, man, I'm from here. Listen to me, please, please, please. Trust what I'm saying and kind of go from there. Anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, I thought they added the ticking clock concept. So they had 33 hours to figure this out, or she would like lose the opportunity to meet the love of the potential love of her life. So I thought that was fun. So they were chasing the clock trying to find this ticket because they only had so many hours before it was Christmas Eve and she got to go to the Pentatonics concert. So I thought that was fun because it kind of added this like racing element to the film. And then it gave, ample opportunities to introduce all of these additional storylines of ways that she could get the tickets, like the scammer in the bar.
Yeah, stuff like that. That was crazy. Just a different.
Yeah, the contest in the department store, or the
crazy couple that wanted to go. I was like,
or the contest that the cousin entered them into. So there were like all these fun elements as we got to follow the story's development. And of course, there's going to be a hidden romance element added to the film as well, because that's how rom-coms work. Because
yes,
they're chasing one thing but realize they're falling for another.
And so that was kind of crazy too, because the original guy she's running for, she only met for like a short period of time, and then, not to give anything away, but when she falls in love again or falls in love for somebody, it's within a short period of time too.
Yeah.
And I wonder, how long can you really find somebody in less than 33 hours?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. I think you can meet someone and gel with them and immediately know this is a person whose energy I could see myself connecting with long term. I think that's possible. Yeah.
Well, you're right though, because in that circumstances they were in so many things together.
Yeah.
And so she got to see the good side of him and how he worked with other people and all that stuff, so you can really see what kind of person they are. Versus a normal date, right? You want to get an hour, 2 hours or so, and then it's just like, okay, I'll see you.
Determining that period of time, if you don't gel with someone, like if I go on a date with you and you start being nasty to the wait staff, or you're nasty to just people, I'm like, this is not a person I'm going to gel with, because I'm a person who tries to move with kindness, so you can immediately find out if someone's energy is adverse to yours as well.
I'm not nasty, but I'm in. So my orders are always awful, and my friends know this about me. So like I always ask for something extra. Like for instance, if I go to Starbucks, I'll just give you a quick order right here. I in the winter, and I don't do it a lot because it's like a cup of diabetes, but I get a venti soy chai tea latte, caramel inside the cup, whipped cream, caramel on top of the whipped cream. Yeah, that's just crack in a cup, but it keeps you up and alert. So if I'm doing like a long drive in the fall, I'll boom, 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 let's go. So that order can be very difficult for some people. Like, wait, what? Or it's not difficult, it's annoying. So sometimes I'll do annoying orders. But is that a make or break for you when someone orders annoyingly?
No, not at all. If you have an annoying order,
because you're picky about what you think, like, could you put that on the side? Could you do that?
No, but what does drive me crazy is if someone is like, if the server comes to the table and they're like, oh, I need a napkin. And then they're like, okay. And then the server goes to get the napkin and like, oh, also, could you bring me some salt and pepper? And then the server goes to get salt and pepper and they come back and they go, oh, you know what? Can you give me a cup of ice? And then if the server's like, okay. And they're like,
anything else? That's on the server though. Servers be like that. Is there anything else you need? Second time? That's on the server.
But even if they do that, sometimes the person is like, no, I'm okay. And then they keep asking for stuff. And then they're like, why do they have attitude? This is their job. But you could have asked them for all 5 of those things at one time. And now you're being nasty because they got frustrated because they've had to come back here 5 times in the past 3 minutes. And they also have other people to deal with. So, I notice people's energy.
All right. So you're very observant about things. And so that's what, going back to the movie, that's what Layla's character does. And she really is observant of the person helping her out, and kind of leads to mutual feelings later in the show. Would you ever tell somebody you love them in front of a group of people?
Yeah, why not?
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm not afraid of the word love.
No, I know, but it's like but when you don't know, the other person kind of feels the same way about you. So you're really just throwing it out to the wind when you don't know the results could be reciprocated, and then you look like an ass. You know what I'm saying? So think about that, Rob. Think about that again.
In true rom-com fashion, I probably would not tell somebody I love them on the first.
Right?
That's
I love you. We just met like 26 hours ago.
You see, that's weird. At this point.
Yes. I don't know.
It's all fantasy because no one lives in a rom-com.
I think some people do. Because I think that hopelessness of like finding that true, like holding on to like, I want to find that true love is out there. Look around, Rob. There's people out there being single for a reason, because they're trying to find. It's gonna happen like a movie. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this: these shows are messing these ladies up. My girlfriend.
I don't think it's messing up the ladies. Don't say that.
I'm gonna say. Hear me out, Rob. You're like, you know what? You're right. Because what happens is they watch the shows, and then you know what I know what happens to me after the show's on. Like, what's the dating island? So the dating one, they're in a different booth. The one they get married on at the end of the show.
Love it.
Love is blind.
Love is blind.
Oh, I hate that show. Oh my god. After every show, when there's a crazy episode, she goes like, "So let me ask you a question." Like, and I'm like, and I caught on now, so now I don't even answer the question more. She's like, "So what would you do in this situation?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm with what do you mean?" It's messing up their heads that they think that they have to act like this or ask questions like this. You don't have to. It's a show. It's a show. So that's my point. People are leading their lives based on what they're watching, and they think that this is how real people are. When it's not. You know, you're an actor. These are shows. These are shows. These people will be on 5 other shows by the end of the year, and they were in love and wanted to get married 2 hours ago. Come on, cut it out.
I don't know if it's just the ladies living in fantasy.
All right, this is my feeling. This is Rose words, Rose thoughts, not Black Film or Rob's, obviously. Just saying.
I think a lot of these guys live in a fantasy land too from these reality shows. They think every woman they meet is going to look and dress and present themselves a certain kind of way 24 hours a day, when that's not reality. They think that they're supposed to have these women who live in these absurd, to live up to these absurd standards all day, which is not real because it's on TV.
Who's doing that?
All of y'all.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're not, because you have a lady at home.
But I'm saying, no, I don't see anybody like, hey, I expect her to be. What are you talking about?
I do. I see all these crazy people posting all these social media posts about their expectations of women that I think they get from watching these reality shows too, or living in this, fantasy.
I think they can't afford to have a type of lady like that 24/7.
But again, that's what I'm saying. They think they get this concept and this idea of reality from reality shows, which is not reality. So I think it works both ways, Ro. I think it's not.
I apologize, my ignorance. I've only seen one side. I see what we do here. We learn here as well. We open our minds to different sides. I've never seen that guy's side.
I have.
I guess it's been right in front of me, but I haven't been paying attention to it.
I feel like guys put unrealistic standards on women and expect them to look and behave a way that they think women.
Yes, and those guys are a-holes.
Reality shows.
And those guys are a-holes, and they're not even trying to settle down and get married. So that's your baby girl. If he's doing that right off the bat, he ain't trying to settle down. He's just trying to hit it and quit it. That's it. Very simple. Very simple. Sorry, back to the. Back to Meet Me Next Christmas. So at the end of the show, they put a nice little button on it. We get to see Pentatonics perform along with Christina Milian's new love interest, Cuddle. Crazy part at the end. I don't want to give this away, but I'll speak in hyperboles. You wind up seeing a certain character being with somebody later, and so her expectations weren't going to be met anyway.
Yeah, but and I thought that was kind of they had to do it that way, I guess. But I was like,
they didn't have to do that way. They could have been like, he was things were waiting for you.
No, yeah, I guess. But I was also like,
made him seem like a player.
But I know I was also like,
no.
Why would you bring?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You knew that was a place that you said that.
But again, it was a year ago, man. I can't remember what happened.
He remembered.
That's my point. He knew. So the good and bad about this movie is that it's a rom-com, so you let a lot of things go. But these things this movie could be solved in literally 20 minutes.
No, but they had 33 hours. You had to solve it.
I know, but 20. Let's be realistic. 20 minutes. It's stretched out a lot, but as to Rob's point earlier, that the way it's stretched out, it's not annoying. They do it great, and there's other stories underlying that with that as well. The character plays are great. They're not forced characters, which is nice. Oh, the brother, what's his name? Who was on the Ellen show back in the day. He used to try like different foods and stuff.
Was that the cousin?
Yeah, that was the cousin. Yeah, shout out to him. I'm sorry, I want to get his name. But he was hilarious. So it was nice to see him acting. Kalen Allen, shout out to that brother. He blew up on Instagram and stuff like that, working with Ellen back in the day on her show. So he got a big role. Yeah, he actually got a decent sized role in the film, playing the cousin. So he was wilding out. I was like, okay, but it was funny. He was like, you got to work it like this, the dance moves. I was laughing. That was funny. So shout out to that young brother. Great cast. Great feel and vibe. They had a budget. They actually had a budget, so it was nice to see that. So some of these movies they just throw you in that, especially black films. They just like, you got $2. See what you can do.
No, but I'm enjoying the quality black holiday rom-coms that are coming out. It's fun, and I'm enjoying watching us come up with creative ways to retell these stories. And again, I think it's great around the holidays to have these films and just have movies we don't have to think too much to enjoy. They're just entertaining, and
especially this time of the year.
Spirit.
Yep, when we're all kind of in our feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to kind of escape a little bit and be like, this is the time you can just lay back and relax.
And I like that this one was skewed more towards adults. I think the one we covered last year was like very family friendly for the kids, for everyone to enjoy, but still had that element of adult humor attached to it. So I'm enjoying watching the holiday films. We can probably add another one to the list before we're done.
I mean, hello, why not? Anyway, all right, that's it. Would you recommend the movie?
I would.
Nice. What, you want to rate it?
No.
Okay, won't rate it, but recommend it. All right.
I won't rate it, but I'll recommend it. Yes, I think it's a fun little watch for the holidays.
Did you remember what your favorite Christmas movie was?
No. Okay. Too much work.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. That was the show, short and sweet. We won't be here next week, but the following weekend we will. We're gonna surprise you with something. Maybe we'll do 2 for 1.
Will Wicked be out by then?
Can you watch Wicked by now and watch? And we'll do Wicked and piano.
Piano lesson.
The piano lesson, yeah. Wicked and the piano lesson. Piano lesson will be on Netflix next week, and then Wicked comes out this week or next week as well. This week, next week. I don't know. It comes out soon, and then we'll do Gladiator 2 next month.
Get all the Denzel stuff in.
Sparta. Now Denzel's gonna be in Black Panther 3.
Oh, when did they announce that?
Denzel announced it.
Okay, Denzel.
Yeah, he was on an interview. He was like, "Oh, these are the movies I'll have left. I'm gonna have this, and that." That's not a Denzel voice at all. I just realized that. I was gonna try to do a Denzel voice, but then I did something else.
Twas not
a Denzel. Because there's only one way to do Denzel. But anyway.
Do it. Go ahead. Go.
I have to think of the scene. Nope. Not gonna do it. Hey, you know what I will though? When we come back, I'll have a Denzel down pack for you. When we do Gladiator, I will have the Denzel.
Which Denzel are you gonna do?
That's the tough part, right? Do I do Training Day, which everybody usually does, the Training Day one. You can do a lot. There's a lot of Flight one. I just have a bottle in my hand. Flight by far is one of my favorite movies. Because that whole movie's Oscar worthy.
There you go.
He was drunk. Now you know what white people have done now? They made a holiday week when he says I was drunk from the 13th to the 17th. So he does it in October. So now in October they celebrate 13th to 17th.
Really? I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's so stupid.
Yeah, please share.
But that's what people do now. Now they're like, I was drunk on the 13th. I was drunk on the 14th. I was drunk on the 15th. And they took that over. So, hey, all right. Something new.
Next show, we'll be expecting your best Denzel role.
Yes. And hopefully the world doesn't destroy in the next week and a half. Rob doesn't seem optimistic. Okay. Rob doesn't seem optimistic. All right, thank you everybody for your time tonight. Sorry we're all over the place, but we'll be back full in 2 weeks. Rob, heal my friend.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, this is difficult.
Is it worth it?
Oh, it's absolutely worth it.
Okay, all right. Still, you still say it's worth it.
Annoying. It's so annoying.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right.
Ugh. Wearing a compression garment. It's annoying.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Have a good day.